Oh, here we go again. So I got a call. I don't know how they got my number. Must be on some bathroom walls. But, you know, I was like, okay, I don't know what you got. She says, I have some vintage 1950s toys, vehicles. Like, I know that's good stuff. Hit or miss, the bigger the better. And look what ended up happening. So, stuff was priced out for like their sale initially on some of the stuff. And then some stuff had no pricing at all. Some of the stuff was crazy cheap prices, and some of the stuff was priced fair. Some stuff I took up in advance and they said, I'll pay your price. You know, I'm not gonna make much money on it. I just want to clean you out of all the vintage stuff. So crazy stuff for me because I don't deal in this stuff. So picked up a Mark's House, yard parts over there. It had the furniture and it had the instruction booklet, which is over in that corner. So it was easy to look it up then. And with the furniture, this 2-level house was like, I think it was like $100 to $150 because I had the furniture. Everybody has the houses pretty much in fair shape. It was $23. So yeah, no problem. Of course, you cannot leave behind a Pikachu onesie because I think everyone needs to be given one of these by the government just because it's needed. I'm really hoping that if Guy Fawkes ever comes true and, you know, alternate reality, we're not all wearing Guy Fawkes outfits at the end, we're all wearing Pikachu outfits. I think that would be much better. Thunder Tank, but it's missing everything. I was shocked because there wasn't much 80s stuff and I was like, where did that come from? But I gave them a couple bucks and they didn't care. Paid pretty high on the die-cast truck, I knew that, but as I said, I just wanted to buy everything because it all balances in the end, and they needed the money. I would be rude to say they wanted the money. They needed the money. An Ollivander wand for $8 unused. This was interesting because there's stuff everywhere. So I looked at this bin towards the end. Like this, there was 2 locations I was at nearby each other. And I was like, oh, the whole bin's $8. What's the whole bin? What's all the hubbub, Rubbermaid tub? Oh, it's just a giant tub of Bioncle. And I do understand that half of it could just be empty tubes. But none, what the hell company is RJ Mars? I thought I've heard of every place. But $8 is just ridiculous. It's this giant one. I haven't bumped into this guy yet. This guy's pretty awesome. So it varies. Bioncle people are in their own world, literally. But you know, they could be $10 to $20 a pop. Sorry, I have a mosquito there and I had to take care of that evil. So overall, fantastic price. I need to dump this a lot. They look to be all built, which is perfect because I'm not building. They had 5 tubs of Legos. Like it's like AT-ST and other Star Wars vehicles and figures in there, and I was like, I am not going to go through 5 tubs, 55 core tubs like this size or smaller. It would take me like 2 days, and then if like that vehicle's missing 5 parts, it's like $30. Like I can't. So the lady was also like, hey, we got these giant dolls. I'm like, I mean, I'll make money off what I can, sure, but I usually try to avoid the dolls. But this box, like, I can see the information versus like a loose doll that looks old but it's not old. Now, rule number 1 always applies: when in doubt, buy them out. I can't tell if she looks happy in the photo. No, I'm referring to the actual woman, not the creepy thing to its right. Oh my god. This is not my cup of tea, but for other people, if this is yours, that's fine too. Because I talk about Bioncle, I mean, that's also just as crazy as this stuff. There's 2 of them in here. I looked them up. They can range between $100 a figure, well, doll, to like $300 to $400 based upon, you know, when it was made, how many were made. And I think these are tougher ones. They were $10 each. They just wanted to get rid of them because of the size of them. Mosquitoes are out. Box too, and you know, looks like she's in her grave, like where the feet are sticking out. 1 shoe was missing. She's in fantastic shape. When they're boxed like this, you can't say no. Loose stuff is everywhere, but boxed, much more difficult to get. All of her outfits are in there, and it was $9. So I'm looked them up. I'm gonna guess 150 to 200 because of all the outfits included, but the box, which does have wear, no top obviously, Oh, that's not the best shot. Sorry about that, Kathy. Kathy something. These are some of the finer vehicles I picked up. It's a Highlander. This Highlander here, it's missing, you can see the little hole there. It's missing some type of exhaust port. Overall, very nice shape. I don't think it's exceptionally a difficult piece to find, but this is way past my knowledge here. I am not going to sit here and preach that I know anything about vintage diecast cars from this era. But it was about 150 tops. So I paid pretty fair on that. And then this one was a slice of pie, literally. But unfortunately, there's no pie in there. This is a more difficult vehicle that people really like. It's not perfect, but it's got the deco on the side and both sides, and it's got some paint wear. But this can run about $300 to $400, and I was shocked on that. But I know these larger vehicles is hit or miss, but this one definitely hit. And that one was 150, so no complaints. Don't worry, we got so much more to go through. Access and Allies, $8. I didn't even look at it, I just grabbed it. Lego stuff. It was like $6 for that. It's in there. I'm not sure. Yeah, this was so weird. Like they must have gotten this for somebody, but it was $6. I think I'll just toss that in. That's another story. Bought the British regiments for 10. These are like $2 to $4 each. I didn't think they were complete, but when they have a box, I can deal with it much better. Like if they're not complete, I'll just put them in a giant group lot and be like, whatever. Nice space little bug hopper. It's one of the cooler vehicles they made. I'm more of a Blacktron from my childhood and classic. This one's a little bit after my time. Well after my time. And a hand-me-down when I was a child was this set. I don't think this set's complete. Parts were coming off the side here as I'm like lifting it up. $8. And they're nice enough to use masking tape that I can peel off without damaging it, so I really appreciate that, versus the mosquitoes that are still after me. Look at this. There's pebbles, push, I don't know, like this is probably used to be worth money in the past, not so much these days, but lots of vintage, real vintage doll stuff. Ginny on the side there. This is beyond my knowledge, so it was $20. I just said, you know what, take it, when in doubt, buy them out, just toss it up. Giant pile of die-cast military vehicles for 20. Take it. Because, you know, if I'm dead wrong, I'm gonna get my $20 back. You know, and I didn't have that much time to go through this. I did all of this within 2 hours, plus everything else I left behind. Giant pile of Barbie booklets. These should be vintage. Look at that. That was $10. Little Heinz hitch vehicle, unused, like this horse and buggy thing. It's like a 35, paid a 10. I know Seth, oh God, this is what happens when you stay in Chicago too long. Oh my God. So, these can have value. Looks vintage. I have no idea. Same thing, Sesame Street's hit or miss on the vintage stuff. It can be really good or really bad. Puppet wise, I think it's good. I'm gonna guess about 20, $30. This whole bag was $10. Same thing with these die cast. Oh, look at that, that's hilarious. We'll show it later, but I ended up buying the one big bag of mini cons from Armada and Energon, and this little guy somehow got into this Britain's boxes. He knew he had to go with his buddies. So these things are hit or miss too. It's all condition. I mean, I could probably get $20 for this whole box of die-cast figures. It's just how it is, but I don't want to leave it untouched. This whole bag was $20. We got some Best of the West. We have a G.I. Joe in, looks like a West Point military cadet outfit, and some G.I. Joe parts. Cannot go wrong. More die cast. I think this one here has no marking, so I think this is more of a newer issue, but it came with all this old stuff, so I don't know. What do you know? Wheels damaged. Paid $5 each on these because, like, even though it's trashed, you're gonna get your $5 for it. Just give it a home. Okay. And this whole box was just nuts. Most of this was not super vintage except for that. Now, I'll be completely honest. As I said earlier, I don't know that from that. I know Nyland, I know Tonka. I don't know anything else really. I don't know what version that is, but I do know from dealing earlier that this is a very early John Deere, This was $15. I think it was about at least $100 in the condition that it's in. The rest of the stuff in here was mostly newer. And I gave him $35 for the whole box because it was mostly 80s Tonka and stuff. Oh, look at that little slot car. Very nice. Didn't even notice that. But even much newer on that. So this one, I was probably going to dump the whole thing out. I just wanted to get everything, you know, that feeling of Poltergeist. When the woman shows up and go, this house is clear. I want that feeling when I buy up the place, you know, that no one even knows you were there. Like, was there vintage toys here? So, I mean, that was just that pile. Oh, boy.